The human mind, the human soul is fascinating to me. And the way human beings can be conditioned is fascinating to me. I'm going to go ahead and spoil this for you. This is going to lead me to the CR, the continuing resolution passed by the House of Representatives. Really, really important stuff, but just bear with me a moment. Have you ever, if you're a dude, you've definitely done this, but have you ever tried to put yourself in the shoes of a person in a story? Maybe you're reading a book or watching a documentary that's going through something terrible. I'll make this about me from this weekend because I was watching a World War II documentary. I know I'm an old man. And it was talking about prisoners of war. It didn't matter where it was, but prisoners of war. And this one guy was a prisoner of war and terribly mistreated for 3 years. 3 years. 3 years of beatings, malnutrition. And I was sitting there. I was eating a pizza. We had ordered pizza. I'm sitting there in the air conditioning. I'm eating a pizza, drinking a little ice water because I have an ice machine. I have unlimited ice. I don't know if I've told you that. And I'm watching the story of a man who was ritually abused for 3 years. And I found myself doing this, saying to myself, how do you go on? Every day. I'm sitting here with everything. I have a pizza, an air conditioning, a comfortable chair. And this dude's living in hell every day. Every night when he goes to sleep, he didn't have a bed or anything. Obviously, he just slept on the ground. But every night he goes to sleep in hell. And he wakes up in hell. How do you go on? And the truth is this. We human beings, for better and for worse, are adaptable. They were interviewing the guy. See, he had gone on to live a happy life. And he talked about how horrible it was. But he said, the beatings weren't that bad. Eventually, you get used to them. He said something, I'm paraphrasing. Eventually, you get used to them. Oh, yeah, just get used to them grabbing you and beating you. Well, all of us are adaptable in that way. And that adaptability that we are made with, God made us with that. It can be a great tool for us. If you're a prisoner of war, for example, it's a great tool. If you're a citizen who's being ritually abused by your government, it can be so, so terrible. There is a huge scandal going on right now, enormous, life-changing scandal that is affecting you, will affect you further, will affect your children and their children after them. And this scandal is being treated like a little side item, if anything at all. Oh, I know, we're all talking about the presidential race, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, assassination attempts. All these things are important and big. But the reason you can't afford eggs anymore is because the United States government is spending far more money than it takes in. Did you know that? That's why you can't afford eggs. That's why there's a chance if you don't already own a home, you never will. That's why you're watching the quality of your life disappear, the jobs market. That's why. It's the government spending that's doing that to you. You know that, right? And right now, Congress is about to pass another CR. And so let's go to the conditioning, the adaptability of us and how it kills us. Before we even dive into the SAVE Act, it's not in there, should have been in there. We said it was, before we even dive into that at all. You understand that a CR, a continuing resolution, just that, no matter what's in it, SAVE Act, no SAVE Act, cuts, not cut, whatever, just that is a scandal. That is not only a scandal, it is pretty much a crime that is being perpetrated against you. That's a big word, I almost screwed that up. Perpetrated against you by the United States government. The United States government, specifically the United States House of Representatives, they are constitutionally mandated to come up with a budget. They are. They have to have an open debate where every year, I know this sounds insane because we are so adaptable. We've been so conditioned to the daily beatings. We don't accept this, but they're supposed to have a debate. Every year, every other year, pick your time, where they, Democrats, Republicans, independents, everyone, on the news, so you can sit there and watch it on your phone. They're supposed to have an open, honest debate about how they're spending your money. They take money out of every single paycheck of yours. Where are they going to spend it? Where are they going to cut? Where are they going to prioritize? They're supposed to have an open, honest debate on it. and then vote on it. And the reason they're supposed to do that is so you, the American citizen, can hold them to account. No, I don't like that. You shouldn't be funding that. Why didn't you fund this? Everyone, Democrats and Republicans, should be having an open debate, an accounting, if you will, a public accounting of where they spend your money. But for years now, they've got a nice little scam going, you see. The continuing resolution they pass all the time, that was for emergencies and only emergencies, the most dire emergencies. That's what the CR is supposed to be for. We're in the middle of World War III, cities are burning, missiles are flying. We don't have time for 2-3 months of a budget argument. We just pass a resolution. We're trying to survive. That's what a continuing resolution is for. It's not for peacetime, where we are now. That any continuing resolution at all gets passed by anyone, either side, in and of itself is a huge scandal, and it's the reason you can't afford eggs. It's actually not Kamala Harris. We love to dumb everything down now that it's a presidential year. As long as we get rid of the Democrats out of the White House and elect our own personal king, then inflation will magically disappear like a vapor on a windy day. But that's not how it works at all. Inflation remains as long as Congress keeps spending. And Congress keeps spending with continuing resolutions, and that in and of itself is a scandal, and we don't treat it as one. We've been so beaten down by these endless CRs that now they pass and we're like, whatever. Oh, and another thing, our evil government, this criminal organization known as the United States government, all the abuse they have done to you, Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, turning into a secret state police agency, taking down Republican after Republican, running guard for Democrat after Democrat, all the evil government institutions that are currently tearing through this country like a blowtorch through butter, every single one of them now fully funded because of a continuing resolution. Again, I want to come back to, we're in the middle of a presidential year. If we get 4 more years of Kamala Harris, it's the end of the world. 4 more years of Donald Trump, though, we'll clean that up. You know how much will be cleaned up if Congress continues to fund all these evil agencies? You know how much? 0. None. Zip. Zilch. The big scandals happen right in front of us, right under our nose. And we're so focused on the shiny object. We've been so beaten down, so conditioned, prisoners of war for so long, that now the huge scandals that really tear apart our lives, they're not even treated as such. I know you already knew about it. I bet you your normie neighbor with the Trump sign in the yard, I bet you he doesn't care about the CR at all. And that brings me, of course, to the SAVE Act. That's supposed to be the scandal here. The SAVE Act was that act. It was supposed to be attached to the CR. What was it? It essentially said that illegals can't vote in national elections. And we can go down this rabbit hole of attach it or don't attach it. Obviously, I don't want illegals to vote in elections. But if they had attached it to the CR, that would have been fine because you would have made Democrats have to make a political vote. But it wouldn't have changed anything in this election. There wouldn't have been time to implement anything. So yeah, I'm pro SAVE Act, but attach it, don't attach it. The SAVE Act being there or not being there is not the scandal. The scandal is the CR itself. Oh, and allow me to put a little cherry on top of that sundae of government corruption we just built for you here. The worst is yet to come. There's an omnibus bill coming. An omnibus bill, they love using those words. What's that mean, omnibus? Omnibus bill. Everyone uses that word. What's it mean? Well, it means a bunch of different subjects packaged into one bill. Obviously, it's not a thing that should even exist. Every bill should be short, small, easily readable in one subject. But because, again, the United States government is a criminal organization who doesn't want to be held to account for the terrible votes they make, for the terrible abuses of your money they do, because that's the kind of country we live in now. Instead, here, I would guess about December, about October, about December, they're going to roll out another $1 trillion plus omnibus bill after the election. They will. Republicans will join with Democrats to pass it in a lame duck Congress. And while you can't afford rent, you can't afford eggs, you can't find a job out there, Republicans and Democrats will once again join together to spend $1 trillion of your money we don't have to hand out to their various special interests to guarantee they can continue to get elected without end. The true scandals happen in front of us right under our nose, but we've been so beaten down and conditioned, we don't even think about those anymore. Maybe we need to start thinking about them again. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.